Oh, God. I can't even with this company. Intellivision is the gift that just keeps on giving. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And we just got our latest update from good friend of the channel, Phil Adams, CEO of Intellivision. And he gave us the update on what's going on over at Intellivision headquarters. They even have one anymore. They gave us this email with this graphic that looks like it was put together by a 4-year-old that won some sort of art competition on MS Paint. This is pure embarrassment. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for my full breakdown of this fantastic email from what a great company Intellivision is. First off, we have a name for this character. So smart. The letter A in Amico, and they shaped it like that character. And they called him Miko. Cool. So it's good to know that Intellivision is more fixated and focused on the mascot than the console. This is the direction that the company's been going. Skepticism has become a seasoned Intellivision fan's best friend. Trust me on this one. I know. Intellivision's latest Valentine's Day update reads more like a wish list than a blueprint for success. And given the company's track record, which I've scrutinized plenty, especially my video where I talk about the roadmap to nowhere, where John Alvarado provides a graphic of basically nothing and says at the end, oh, we hope that the controllers come out by Christmas 2024. Which, I don't know, first off, how that would even happen. They don't have the money to make the controllers, and they're selling like 12 games total. Not 12 different games, sorry. 12 copies of a game. So they're not going to get enough money to build these controllers, so unless they have this magical unicorn investor that comes out of nowhere that's just like, hey, I used to play Intellivision when I was a kid. Sure, take all my money, because what could possibly go wrong? It's not like you could lose another 17 plus million again. That's what they're hoping to happen, because otherwise, there's no way the controllers get made. But that's not even the best part about all of this. They start talking about how indie developers will be invited to the platform in the coming months. Specifically, by April 2024, Intellivision is going to be inviting indie developers. Which, wait a second, back up. Weren't they always inviting indie developers? Didn't Tommy used to say, like, we're allowing everyone to create games on our platform? Like, when did that turn off? When did that stop? What really happened was developers were looking at Intellivision like, why the hell on any planet and any universe would I ever develop a game for a failed console when I could make it for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Microsoft Xbox, or even, most easy and simplistic, PC Steam? Why the hell would you focus on Intellivision? So saying that they're inviting indie developers is just lip service. It's not actually doing anything. But then again, when it comes to Intellivision, that's all they're about. Lip service. They don't actually do anything. But it gets better. They go on to promising that the iOS compatibility for Amico Home would be coming in the same time frame, and that sounds commendable. Yet for a company that struggled to meet any of its objectives, it begs the question, is this a realistic option or goal that they're shooting for? Or are they just saying random things? Now, putting Amico Home on iOS really isn't the hardest thing in the world to do. It just needs to be ponied up the money to do it. They already have the app out on Android, so at this point it's just a matter of putting the money up and putting it out on iOS. But money is something that they don't have. Who in the right mind would even make a game for this thing? Are they going to get Gerard the Completionist and put together Indie Land 2024 for Intellivision Amico? Could you imagine? They also announced games like Cornhole, Rigid Force Redux Enhanced, and Finnegan Fox, along with the intention to bring the Amico controllers to market by this Christmas. Which, like I said, would be exciting news for people that were excited about Intellivision Amico if this was all happening, I don't know, 6 years ago when it was initially promised. Right now we're at the point where this is all old news and it's coming in a form that nobody actually wanted. Most people, who were like me, wanted these games on the Intellivision consoles to work in conjunction with the controllers and the lights on the system to make it a fun and inclusive experience for the entire family. At this point, trying to play these games on your phone through another phone is not the ideal gaming experience, not to mention my kids don't have phones, so it's not something that we can include our family with. It makes no sense. They go on to talk about recent achievements and how they've added AI to Sideswipers, which they released the game without having AI in it, so you couldn't play it single player. Well, you could. You'd just be the only car on the track going around in circles over and over again. So this update would actually make the game somewhat playable as a one-player game, but still, at this point, it's just comical. It's the laughingstock of the video game industry, and the fact that this joke just keeps going, like it refuses to die, it just feels like Weekend at Phil Adams. Even when everything's DOA, it's still being carried around like it's still there. Adding AI to a game like Sideswipers to make it playable in single player should come by default when it gets released initially. It's not like an achievement to announce to everyone that you've accomplished something. That's something that should have already been in the game when it first launched. That's what this company does, though. They take the most trivial and meaningless things and tout them out there like it's a huge accomplishment, when at the end of the day, it should have been done originally, and back then, it's still not even that big of a deal. But to make it in this email, to talk about it like it's such a big deal, is laughable. And like all emails from Phil Adam about the Intellivision Amico, it's filled with an overdose of hope and accomplishment and gratitude towards the players. But at the end of the day, it doesn't accomplish anything. Like when people were asking for updates, when I personally was saying, Phil, give us an update, I was asking for like specifics on when the console was going into production. Unlike when Tommy said, they've entered production 5 years ago? No, they didn't. That was another lie. Every time you ask this company to give a specific date or information about something specific, they refuse to do it when it comes to what people actually care about. The console, the controllers, anything. Like, sure, you can say, we're making the controllers in December. We're going to shoot for that. How? What are you doing to get that in order? What orders do you have in place? What companies are you working in conjunction for? How much money are you spending on these? Where are you getting the money from? How is any of this even happening? No, it's just this mindless number of, December, we're going to shoot for getting controllers. And then December is going to come and go, and there's going to be no controllers, and everyone's going to be like, oh, well, I guess we should have done more research on why it wouldn't work out. It's like, no, right now is when you should be doing that. The planning stages of getting it out there. The roadmap, with its grand plans and optimistic timelines as usual, stand as a highway of unbuilt ambition. A road to nowhere, and people are driving off this cliff. Anyone who's on board with Intellivision at this point still deserves all the laughing and ridicule that the community can give them, because it's so obvious that this company is a scam at this point. It really is. Like, there's no other way to talk about them. They took $17+ million from investors like me who cared about what they said they were going to do, shot the money away, and then said, oh, we're going to still try to do something even though we don't really have anything anymore. We never committed to making the console or the controllers or any of the games that we promised. And everything that Tommy said was basically a lie at the end of the day. No. Just stay with us, stick with us. We're going to get through this together, guys. Like, no, you had your chance. Put up or shut up is something I was saying years ago when I turned heel against this company. And we're still at the point where we're saying put up or shut up. You haven't actually done anything. You've moved the goalposts. You've created Amico Home, something that nobody even asked for, and said, look what we did. We did something. That's not what we wanted. That's the problem with Intellivision. Instead of giving people what they promised, they don't. They fail to deliver, and then they make something else up and say, oh, the haters are just mad because we're doing this other stuff right now. It's like, no one wanted that, and you're doing that on your own. Ambition is typically something that can be applauded, especially in the smaller indie area of the video game realm. And it's the execution that ultimately wins the hearts and minds of the gamers. Intellivision has yet to execute on anything of real substance, short of the magical disappearing act of $17+ million, as I've covered plenty in the past. At this point, it feels like Intellivision's roadmap is aiming for the stars, and I guess why shouldn't it be? But at the same time, they can't even clear the treetops. That's what we're dealing with. A company that's overambitious and underperforming at every turn. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Hope you like crap. I don't know what the point of this update was, except for people to laugh at you again. Do something actually tangible that you can show that you've created that people care about. Otherwise, yeah, expect to be ridiculed, because that's exactly what you deserve after everything you've blown to this point. I'm going to leave it there. Don't forget to check out smashjt.com for my full article breaking down all the email information from Intellivision. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash,